Scarlet Knight fans, it's your host Larry K with another episode of Night Watch with Larry K. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please click below and subscribe to the channel. We are above 300, which is awesome, but we're trying to get to 500. It's greatly appreciated. For those of you who went out to Wisconsin, I heard the game time experience in the campus was awesome, so good for you. Everybody else who watched and sat through another tough loss against a Big Ten opponent and a team that's really has a traditional power in the Big Ten. It's tough. I know there were missed opportunities in the game. I know we didn't play our best, specifically on offense. I thought the defense did play fairly well. And if, all things being equal, I think the defense came to play and really put us in a position where we could have beaten a team that's considered a traditional power on the road, but that wasn't in the cards. Our offense, quite frankly, our offense just isn't there yet. And I told you early in the season, I told you this week, I didn't predict a win against Wisconsin. And I know that, watching the game, it's not as if it was so far-fetched that we had no chance and I should just be giving the team a pass. I understand that there were opportunities. I understand that we could have won it, and eventually you want to get over the hump, and it's not like we were just vastly outclassed. I understand all of that, right? But when you're a fan of a program that's transitioning to a more formidable program that's growing, it's nice to have expectations. It's nice to know that we can be close. It's nice to know that we do have a chance. At the same time, you got to stay objective. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. We lost to Michigan. We beat Wagner the way we should have, but we didn't beat Wagner in a way that should lead us to, be so excited that, we're definitely going to come out and beat Wisconsin. I mean, I think it was smart to be tempered in our expectations of the Wisconsin game. And lo and behold, we lose the game 24-13. It's an 11-point deficit, right? And I know we had a touchdown later, and I know the game was never really in doubt for Wisconsin. But by talking to some people, you'd think that, we were right there till the end and just totally blew it. I mean, I think it's obvious that a decisive play in that game was the pick six, and it was a pick six at a really inopportune time because it was down in the red zone where we had a chance to go neck and neck with Wisconsin. I didn't love the play call. This is another game where I don't like the play call in a pivotal situation with not that far to go. At the same time, the quarterback's got to be better, and the quarterback's got to learn that you don't let the ball fly when it is too crowded, when there's too many opposing jerseys in the area of the receiver. You don't force it because it turns into pivotal pick six turnovers. And this is the second game against a upper tier Big Ten team, and I know Wisconsin's not on the same level as Michigan. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm not saying they are, but they're in the lead in the West. They very well may win the Western side of the Big Ten this year. You're on the road again, and this is the second time where we're in a game situation like that where it could be a game, and Gavin Wimsatt throws an interception that goes for 6 the other way. Now, I think personally this was Gavin Wimsatt's worst game so far this year. He was 16 of 35, 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But that doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, the completions and attempts does. It's very low. Really terrible stat line, the completions versus attempts. And the thing was, it wasn't just the pick six that did us in necessarily. It wasn't just that type of miscue. It was missing guys who were open a lot of times, very inaccurate, and that's just a fact. But that doesn't knock me off kilter as far as my predictions for this year. It doesn't get me out of the mindset that the team is on an upward trajectory. It doesn't knock me off the mindset that Gavin Wimsatt is going to be a pretty good quarterback for us in this program. It just doesn't. He's a sophomore quarterback who has always had accuracy issues, and I don't think even when he's a finished product as a senior that he's not going to have some accuracy issues, right? He's never going to be the most accurate quarterback that we've seen, and he's never going to be, one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the Power 5. What he is going to be is more accurate than he is now. What he is going to be is more experienced than he is now. What he is going to be is somebody who's a threat with his legs and who will be more of a threat throwing the ball as he, one, continues to improve, and two, as he, doesn't have bad games like this. I mean, everybody has a bad game here and there, and this was probably his worst game of the season. It doesn't mean he's been super accurate all year, but this was when he was even more inaccurate than usual, and that's going to happen from time to time, especially on the road against a good team. Rushing, Wimsatt 9 carries for 43 yards, averaging 4.8. Not bad. Monangai 8 carries for 16 yards, and Benjamin 4 carries for 13 yards. Guys, we continue to see when we go up against teams that are more stout in the trenches, when they make it their business to force us to throw, when they make it their business to not let us run, we can't run as effectively. And it doesn't matter what Kyle Monangai did against lower tier competition. It doesn't matter that our O-line is better, right? The O-line is better. Our running game is better this year, but that doesn't mean that automatically, because we are improved, that this offensive line, that these running backs are automatically ready to go do the same things against Wisconsin and Michigan as they're able to do against Virginia Tech and Temple. It doesn't mean that just because we are improved, and we are improved, it doesn't mean that we're ready to be the finished product of where we want to go, right? And I think people get a little ahead of themselves thinking we're going to do that to Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's stronger than us in the trenches. They are, and they will be. Now, our defense played well, man. Our defense played well. Rushing yards, 212 for Wisconsin. It's still a good rushing day for Wisconsin. Passing yards, 145. We had more passing yards than them. We had 211. 357 to 275. Not grossly. I mean, under 100 yards difference. End of the day, we have to we threw one pick, they threw no picks. Time of possession, 27 minutes and 13 seconds for us. 32 minutes, 47 seconds for them. We hung in there against a team that traditionally has cleaned our clocks. And it's because a combination of Wisconsin maybe isn't as strong as in some previous years we've played them, but also because we're improved. Our defense is improved. Our rushing is improved. But I highlighted the rushing stats because we're going to have to throw the ball more, and we did, and Gavin didn't come through this time. Washington, 3 receptions for 53 yards. Jackson, 3 receptions, 46 yards. Strong, 4 receptions, including a touchdown reception. Johnny Langan, 2 for 34. I mean, everybody got involved. You had Dremel involved for 1. Alfieri involved for 1. Benjamin had 2. And it looks like when it comes to rushing, plain and simple, Benjamin has catapulted everybody else. And I don't know what's going on with Sam Brown. We saw flashes last year that he could be a superstar bell cow back this season. And I don't know if it's the way he's running, because he hasn't gotten that many touches to really get going for us to see that he just isn't the same player as last year. Whatever the reason is with this new offensive coordinator, maybe with the way their meritocracy is stacked, maybe with the way they handle guys coming back from injury, no matter what the situation or reason is, Sam Brown is not getting the touches, and Sam Brown is not being, having the level of effectiveness that he had last year, and we're riding Kyle Monangai, and then Benjamin is really catapulted up to be that 1B guy. And even Aaron Young's taking some time to get involved. So, I don't know if that'll change as the season goes on. I have no idea. But as of now, we're rolling with Monangai and Benjamin, and the line doesn't have what it takes. It's not because they're sorry. It's not because the coaching sucks. It's not because we'll never get there. We're just not there as an offense. We're just not there yet, right? We played 2 of the better teams in the Big Ten. I know everybody was down on Wisconsin. I get it. But they're still one of the better teams in the Big Ten. And we lost to them on the road. We lost to Michigan on the road. But in neither of those games which is important. In neither of those games, on the road, in neither of those games have we looked like we don't belong on the same field. And I know that sounds like a low standard, but that's the low standard because that's where this program has had us for about a decade. So there's improvement here, okay? Wimsatt needs to be better. He's still a sophomore quarterback. He's still not the finished product. This is still the first year in Kirk Ciarrocca's offense for this team. And the O-line, I got news for you. It's still got to develop into a better O-line. Just because it's improved doesn't mean it's ready to go toe-to-toe with Wisconsin and Michigan. Defense forced some turnover, forced that fumble. Defense had a game that was respectable. Same time at opportune times when, and I forced 2 fumbles, but some still where Wisconsin had to do what they had to do to seal the game, to get out ahead as far as they could so that we had to pass. They were able to do that, but it's not taking anything away from our defense. Our defense right now could compete, I think, with the best of them in the Big Ten. I really think that. Are they the best defense in the Big Ten? No. But they can compete in the Big Ten. Our offense is not where it was last year, the year before, where it really struggled to compete. But our offense is not quite there yet. But Michigan State is a whole different situation. Michigan State is reeling. They fired their coach. They're a mess. They're coming to us. This is our home game now. This is our homecoming. And it's a different situation. Now, if we lose this game, I didn't predict a loss in this game. Predicting a win. I'm still predicting a win. This is a huge game for the program, right? Because if we lose this game, doesn't mean we're not improved still, because we are, but it means that there's some issue that we can't overcome. In order to take a step as a program this year, we've got to beat Michigan State at home, and we've got to beat Indiana on the road. Now, those are the games I predicted we'd win preseason. And if we win those games, we become bowl eligible. We take another step forward. We still won't be there this year. But we'll be one step closer to where we want to go. That's the big game. Now, am I saying we're definitely beating Michigan State? Am I taking them lightly? Hell no. This team can't afford to take any conference opponent lightly, period. Not yet. Not this year. But I'm saying this team needs to handle its business against Michigan State. And I'm saying that no one should have expected to beat Wisconsin so much that the loss to Wisconsin is turning you into the sky is falling, this whole team sucks, we'll never get there with Wimsatt, we'll never do anything with... I mean, that's off the deep end because we weren't expected to win this game. And I remember we were 2-score underdogs to this team on the road, and people were having a conniption. How can we be 2-score underdogs? Oh, 2-score underdogs? That's your problem. You got ahead of yourself. That's not the problem of the team. That's not a huge setback. Now, if we lose to Michigan State, especially if we lose to Michigan State decisively at home, now you can sound the alarm. Now you can say, this team isn't where we expected. We don't have the horses. We went all in on the wrong guys. We went all in on the wrong coaches. This program is rudderless. And if we do, I'll have a lot to say about it. And I'm not confident we win, but I'm predicting it. Okay? But this isn't the time when we lose to Wisconsin on the road to start having the sky fall on you as a Rutgers fan. It's just not. I know it wasn't pretty. I know the quarterback was not good, period. I know the offense was stagnant in a big way. But we still look improved against Wisconsin. That's just a fact. And Wisconsin is a better team right now. I know no one wants to say that, but yes, talent to talent, stack to stack, are they that much better that we should just expect to lose every time? No. But the record and the score is what it is for a reason, okay? They're better because their quarterback is better. Even though he didn't have a great day, our quarterback had a worse day. He's young, he's not accurate right now, and he had a bad game even for him. He'll clean it up. He'll have better games. He will grow and become better overall. Will he become the most accurate guy ever? Will he be Chad Pennington? No. But he'll be better than he was yesterday. So that is what it is. It was a tough day out in Madison. We lost. We move on. Michigan State is a huge game. I'm going to be in the blue lot, front row. If the Wi-Fi works, I'll be live broadcasting for a few minutes there. You guys could catch me there. If you haven't done so, come say hi to me. Front row of the blue lot. Can't miss me. I'm also a tall guy. You can't miss me. But we live to fight on, man. We're a 4-2 team. All our goals this season are still right in front of us. Go out and get them. Wimsett, play better. Shiraka, call a better game. O-line, running backs, impose your will a little bit better. And home crowd, bring the energy. That's where I'm at. If you guys haven't done so yet, click that subscribe button. Takes a second, click it. I'm bringing you Rutgers content, and I'm bringing it to you uncut. I'll see you guys Saturday at the game for homecoming. Larry K out. Go Knights.